Here we are, live and in color. What's happening, y'all? What I'm talking about. Bling, 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 bling. Yep. Car making noises. Let me know that it works. What's new, y'all? I haven't seen you guys since last week. This is the last time I did. Hey, baby, what's happening? Doing all right. You was waiting on me, what? You knew I was going to be on soon, didn't you? Yeah, I decided to work till 3:30 today. I've been pulling 10-hour shifts. Well, I didn't work 10 hours Wednesday. I only worked 9. Today I only worked 9. So I got 48 hours this week. Yep. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Yep. Have a good one. Work associate leaving at the same time as me. Yep. Wait for him to pull out, and then I'll go. There we go. I don't know why he does that. There's 2 entrances, one over here and one over there. He pulled around me to go to that one, and I'm going to this one. That's kind of strange. But he's kind of strange anyway. So, it looks like I got a pretty busy weekend ahead of me. I gotta probably change the brakes on my truck tomorrow. My old Trailblazer. And then Sunday I've got an electrical job to do. Make a little side money. He ain't gonna get it for free though, that's for sure. I'm gonna make him pay for it. I know that he came into a little bit of money, and I'm gonna take some of it from him. Well, I mean, I'm gonna do some electrical work for him, but he's gonna pay me, that's for sure. I gotta put in a new set of switches. They want switches on one wall so they can control their ceiling fan. Right now they have to pull the strings on their ceiling fan. So I'm going to make it to where they can control the fan with the switches instead of the pull ropes. So I got to run a wire into a box and hook up a switch and then pull my neutral down and leave it there in case they decide to do anything like a receptacle or something like that later on. Yep, so I see Ashley's there. Who else we got out there today? It's funny, people come in and they watch, but they never say anything. Well, that's how it goes, though, you know. That's the secret world of YouTube, you know. People can be anonymous. That's what you want to call them. Yep. So you're not going to talk to me, Ash? Are you working today? Are you at work? Is that why you're not saying a whole lot? Is that what's going on? I'm the only one basically who talks. Yeah, I know. Well, you know, it's amazing. I don't have much of a following because, like, I don't really have any set schedule. I like to do these videos on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But I don't really have like a set schedule, you know, where people who have seen my live feeds before, you know, can go and, you know, it'd be like concrete that I'm going to be there. Don't go back to Tuesday of next week. No, I won't be doing Tuesdays. I did a video, when was it? Shit, I don't even remember. I didn't do one Saturday, did I? Maybe I did one Friday. I don't remember. Got my extra day back. Good. Anyway, so um, I guess all week I haven't done a video all week, so I figured today was a good enough day to do it. You know, it's been kind of slow at work. I mean, I've been staying steady, but nothing like what I was. You know, not as busy as I was. Man, that sun's bad. I can't see. I got sunglasses on, still can't fucking see. Ain't that a trip? You don't go back to work until Tuesday night. I hear you. I got to go back Monday morning. But like I said, I got a busy weekend ahead of me. What the hell is that? Not provided. Well, of course it's not provided. My car's talking to me over here. Well, it's not saying anything, but I got a notification on my dash that something, media list is unavailable for browsing. Okay, and I guess the car wants me to know that it can't play my videos. I did find out that I've got TV in my car. When I'm sitting still, I had to put in an app. I put in the Tubi app. And the other night, Dee and I were sitting in a parking lot at a high school waiting for like the Northern Lights or whatever to come down. And I thought, well, let me see if this thing works. So I went into my interface on my car screen here, because it's got like a big, I don't know, it's like 12 or 13 inches, corner to corner over there behind my phone. And it had applications that I could pick. So I picked the Tubi app. And I had to sign in, of course, and all that good shit. But I watched Tubi. But we were watching the news to find out about this magma thing that happened on the sun, and the Northern Lights type deal. We missed it really good. The really good one was like, what was that? Tuesday, or maybe it was Wednesday. No, Tuesday was a really good one. So we thought, well, we'll go out to the high school because we were supposed to be able to see it again on Wednesday, but we weren't able to because we had cloud cover. You worked Tuesday and Thursday, okay. So we didn't get to see it, but anyway, we were watching the newscast on my freaking car. I've never, it used to be, you carry around one of those portable TVs, it had a bunch of batteries in it. But now you can watch TV in your car. But see, here's the deal. You can't watch the TV in your car or like any kind of music videos or anything while you're driving. So it doesn't allow that. I think there's probably a setting that I can turn it on for like the passenger. If the passenger wanted to watch TV while I was driving, I think there's probably a setting that you can do that. But I haven't messed too much with the settings, so I don't know. But these new cars are just freaking amazing. Like I say, this is a 2025 Chevy Equinox, and it's got all kinds of bells and whistles. It's got buttons I'll probably never even use, settings I'll never use, or any of that stuff. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, so like tomorrow, I got a brake job to do. I got a 2008 Chevy Trailblazer. And I've noticed here lately that the brakes are squealing quite bad. Well, they're not really squealing, they're squeaky, like when you stop. And then, like if I'm in reverse in the morning, and then I stop and I put the car in, or put the truck in forward, or into gear to go forward, it almost feels like it's catching, like the calipers are depressed or something, against the rotor. It makes a little popping noise. So I brought some tools home today so I can pull the wheels off. I got to put it up on a jack tomorrow and pull the wheels off and see what's going on back there. I've also got a camera system I'd like to put on it. I don't know if I'm going to do that tomorrow or not, though. I've had this camera system since like Christmas, for cars, you know, that aren't equipped with cameras. It's got a front-facing camera, and then it's got a camera in the back that should come on, you know, when you put your car in reverse. Well, I haven't put it in yet. It's still in the box. I've still got all the original parts and all that. So I you know, if I do that tomorrow after I do the brakes, if I need brakes, if I don't, then I might not mess with it. You know, I don't know. Anyway, I got like question and answer bullshit. I don't. They put up some kind of a thing. I didn't see it. For a shout out. I'll give you a shout out. Type something. Hello, kiss my ass, go to hell, something. I'll give you a shout out for nothing. All you gotta do is put your name down there and hit the like button. Come on, y'all, hit the like button. Please like my video. Please like my video. I'm gonna start begging, I think. You know, like if I see people come on, like if I got 3 or 4 viewers or 15 viewers, I think the highest I've had is like 15 or 18 viewers. And I'm gonna start begging for people to hit the like button, because it doesn't take much to do it. You just hit the screen twice and it'll go woo, just like that. Well, not just like that. It doesn't make the noise or anything, but you know, it'll thumbs up will come in. It makes little red lines, you know, like a sparkle. Yep. So I've only got one person now. I guess that's you, Ashley. You're my faithful viewer. Anyway, I'm taking 70 home today. I don't feel like driving a long way. It's like 10 minutes longer. I'm kind of disappointed. I've been looking for another house, and I talked to a guy that was a realtor quite a while back, and he was telling me that the easiest way to find out, you know, what kind of house you can buy and stuff like that is you've got to talk to a financial advisor. Like pick a house, you know, and then talk to a financial advisor and find out what you qualify for, and stuff like that. So I looked at a few houses last Sunday, like open houses. Actually, there were a couple of them I really liked, but one of them was like $310,000. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Ain't no way in hell I can afford to buy a $300,000 house. You fucking kidding me? So I was looking at some other ones online and all week, pretty much. Well, then I got to talking to a company called Quicken Loans. By the way, the guy that I've been speaking with is really nice. He works for Quicken Loans. And I got an approval, or a pre-approval, and then he was like, well, you're gonna have to pick a house. So I went and picked one, and I gave him all the information and everything, and I told him, I said, well, you know, I don't want to dip into my 401k. I don't want to have to come off the money, you know, off the hip with much money. And he's like, well, you know, what would you rather have? You know, would you like to have a higher down payment and a closing, or would you rather have a higher house payment or lower house payment? I said, well, both, really. So he made it to where I didn't have to touch my 401k and stuff. Anyway, they gave me a pre-approval letter. Now we've been, you know, talking back and forth for 3 or 4 days to do this, and so I talked to a buddy of mine last night who's a realtor, because there's a house that I wanted to go look at, and I was like, well, can you take me and show me this house? And he said, well, you haven't sold your house, have you? And I was like, no, I haven't sold it because I still owe money on it, you know. So come to find out, they have what they call a contingency, you know, when you go to fill out paperwork and stuff, or when you get like approved and stuff. They have like a contingency that you are eligible depending on how quick you can sell your house, right? So I'm like, well, what does that mean? You know, contingency is like, well, if you go look at a house, you know, and you've got an approval letter, you know, and you let people know, hey, I've got an approval letter, you know, chances are you could probably give them an offer and they would accept it. But with a contingency on an estimate or on an offer on a house, you can't get that money until your house is paid for and paid off. So I'm thinking to myself, well shit, how am I, you know, he's like, well, you got to have it on the market, because if, you know, you go up with a contingency letter without a sale on your house, you know, if somebody comes along and cuts your throat and offers a couple $100 less to take it, they can take it over your offer because you haven't sold your house and they don't have any money yet, or they won't know that they have money coming. Then he was like, well, but see, you could have, you could sell your house and have a contingency where your house is, you know, been, what do they call it, in process or whatever. And if you have a contingency letter in your house is in the process of, you know, being closed or whatever, then yes, you could probably get the house that you want. But see, I don't want just any house. I want a house, you know, that I want. You know, I got to have a garage. You know, I got freaking motorcycles and stuff. I got, you know, I need to have a garage so that when it hails, my cars don't get damaged, you know. But anyway, so I've just pretty much, I've been stressing all week about this shit, and I just don't feel like stressing about it anymore right now. So I've told the guy at the finance, you know, with Quicken Loans, that I just really, I need a break. Because see, even if I put my house on the market and stuff like that, I still have to pack up all my shit, and then I got to get it ready to move. Well, you know, I've been in this house for 15 years. I got a lot of shit in this house. You know what I mean? Not only mine, but Dee's too. You know, it's going to be a real motherfucker if we ever have to move. But, you know, I kind of look at it like this. So I only owe about 3 more years or something like that on my house. So I figure if I take that money, you know, and just let it sit, and then once I get my house paid for, and you know, 3 years or 3.5 years or however long it takes, I can start, you know, saving money for a down payment on another house. You know, take that same, you know, $1,000 a month that I pay for my house and put it away somewhere. You know what I mean? That way, when it comes time for me to buy another house, I'll have the money for the closing or whatever, or the down payment, you know, and I won't really have to have any kind of contingency, because I can either, you know, I can move out, let my house sit. Because see, the problem is if I were to use like equity in my home to make a down payment on another house, now not only do I have to finish paying the mortgage on my house, but I also have to pay whatever I borrow back. And it's just, you know, I don't want to make 2 house payments. And that's a lot of the reason I didn't dip into my 401k either, because if I dip into my 401k, I have to pay myself back that money. And I don't want to be paying, you know, $300 a week out of my paycheck and then not be able to make my house payment. So I'm, you know, it's kind of like I'm double screwed either way I go. I never thought that, you know, buying a house would be this difficult. Now see, the first time around, I didn't go through this because I paid cash for my house. You know, I went looking at houses. There was like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was an open house at my house too, the one that I have. And the house had been on the market, you know, for a few weeks. And this was back in 2011 when I bought this house. So, houses were cheaper back then. So I offered them $65,000 cash for it. The realtor relayed it to the customer or the guy that was selling the house, and he was like, sure, take it. So, and then all I had to do was go to closing, and pay a small closing fee. I think it was like $500 or something back then. Now, of course, I had to have an inspector come in and look at the house and, to tell me if there was anything wrong with it or anything that needed to be fixed or, any of that stuff. There was some stuff you recommended, but I didn't really need to get it fixed immediately. You know what I mean? So, but, so I really didn't go through like, financing and all that stuff last time I bought a house because I paid cash for it. Now I did take out a mortgage on my house back in 2017, 18, something like that. And that was just to pay off some bills and shit. Well, I'm at the end of that loan now. It was just a home equity loan. So I'm at the end of that loan. Excuse me now. So I've only got about 30 payments or something like that left. That's a little less than 3 years. Even though, because that's with the interest and everything, and all that. But that house would probably, the payoff would probably be less because, when you go to pay something off, you cut the charges, finance charges and everything at that point. And I have what they call a quick something or other loan where up front, the payments that I'm making up front, pretty much, I'm paying mostly like interest off. I don't really get into the principal. I'm into the principal now, but most of the interest and shit I've already paid. But there's still your taxes and all that stuff. So that's added in because I've got what they call what is it called? My brain's so tired I can't even think. But anyway, an escrow, which means that I pay my insurance and my house payment and my taxes all in one big lump sum, even though the actual house payment itself is only like $450 a month. I'm paying all these other stuff, and then I'm paying the interest back too. So I'm paying $1,000 a month for my house, and that'll be over pretty soon, next couple of years. So I figure it like this: if I just go ahead and pay my house off, I can do one of two things. I can buy a piece of land, use my 401 of land, save up my money, buy, because we want to retire in North Carolina. That's definite for sure. I don't want to take my last breath of air out here in Missouri. God, bloody damn. Hold on, y'all. The sun's ruthless today. Jesus. It was a really nice day today, though. I really don't want to take my last breath here in Missouri. And the only reason I came here was because my dad was here, my stepmom, and my brothers, and so that's why I came here. Plus it was far enough away from my ex-wife that, she wouldn't be able to cause me any problems or, tell people that I'm stalking her and stuff like that, because I'm not going to get into all that. But anyway, so, I can start doing some of the things that I want to do, you know what I mean? Whether it be like home improvements or whether I want to travel or save the money, for like, down payment on another house or whatever, you know what I mean? Your thinker isn't thinking. Yeah, I know. My thinker's tired, baby. I've had a long week. I've been going to bed at my normal time. I usually go to bed around 10. So I've been going to bed at my normal time, but the problem is that I wake up like 2:15 in the morning, and then I go back to sleep, and then I wake up again, between like 3:30 and 3:45, and then my eyes just open at like 4:15 or so, even though my alarm's not set, to go off until 4:45. I'm tired today. 4:45, and then I get up, I take a shower, and I fix I fix my lunchbox, and everything, and I make my coffee, and I'm out the door usually around 20 after, to come to work. I get to work at 6 o'clock, so I have to drive 20 miles to work. Well, it's 23 miles one way. So, damn, I forgot to stop and get gas. That's all right. Anyway, so, yeah, I'm tired. My brain is tired from all this, house hunting and stuff like that. It's almost like an obsession. You know what I mean? When you have a goal that you want to meet, and I pretty much met that goal. The only thing that I didn't meet was actually, having my house sold so I can move into this other house, if in fact I could find one, which I did. I was pre-approved for a loan for a new house. Well, not a new house, a used house, but new to me. But geez, the area that I want to move in, which is St. Charles County, Missouri, it's expensive as hell to live over there. I guess that's the way they keep all the riffraff out, I mean, like right now, my house is worth, I don't know, probably $150,000, something like that, because it's increased in value since I moved in it back in 2011. I've actually everything in my home right now is equity, pretty much, except for what I owe on it, which is like $30,000 or something like that. So, I can't. I don't know. I can't move into another house, or nobody's even going to accept a deal on another house until this one's paid off, or until I sell it, because I don't have the way they structured, like the pre-approval letter on a loan, on a contingency. They were even going to take one of my cars and pay it off and put it in the loan, so that I would free up a little extra money every month, so I could, instead of having a house payment of like $1,000, I could pay for a car, up to $1,500. You know what I mean? Because I'd have that extra, few $100s a week or a month to put, towards the house or whatever. So, I don't know, I'm just so freaking stressed. I have been all week, and I think that it's really affected my sleep schedule. I haven't been sleeping well. I don't think I sleep any harder. Maybe I do, because like I said, I've been waking up at like 2:15 in the morning religiously. Damn, it's hot today. It's a really nice day here in Missouri today. I don't know how many of you guys watching here are from Missouri. Let's see, gotta forever home. Yeah, well, when I bought this house in 2011, I really had no plans on ever moving again until I retired, and I mean, it's like, so if I decide to buy another house, right, and I want to move back to North Carolina after I retire, I've already said that, right? So if I buy another house, in 15 years, I want to move to North Carolina, back, to my home state. Now I got to sell another house before I go. You know what I mean? Get a forever home, Dad. Wanted to call your. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Well, that's what I already have. I already have a forever home. It's just that we've accumulated so much junk over the years. I mean, I've got a lot more now than I had, when I was with your mom, but it's really difficult, to make a decision to move, and then, in 10 or 15 years, make a decision to move again. I just don't see any use in it, really, but I don't know. Is that my dog barking? I hear my little dog barking. He's barking at something back there. All right, plug for the day. Here we go. Mountain Dew Kickstart, y'all. See that? The black cherry. That's the best shit in the world. It's better when it's cold. This is kind of warm. But it's because I've been drinking out of this can for like an hour now. Anyway, cheers. So, there's 3 people in here. I only see one person that's written anything. That's my daughter, my moderator. So if anybody wants a shout out real quick, I'll give you a shout out. Just write something down in the comments. If not, I'm gonna cut this thing off. I usually only do about 30-minute videos anyway. Yeah, it looks like you're the only one talking, Ashley. Oh well. All right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna take off. I may do a video sometime over the weekend. Go check out my new short video I put up today. We got deer that live out here in the neighborhood. I love you too, baby. You have a good rest of your day. We have deer that live out here in the neighborhood. Every once in a while, I'm able to catch them on video. Anyway, y'all have a good evening. We'll talk to you again soon. And watch for a video over the weekend.